half marathon run. My half marathon one. Sorry, Vong Wang. All right. Thank you, Bon. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and delightful guests. Well, the Olympic Games 2024 just ended a few weeks ago. I hope the excitement is still around some of you and still some memories still remain in your mind. Quick question. How many of you know the full length of a marathon? Okay, the answer is 26.4 miles. So a half marathon run is 13.2 miles. Back to my speech. My running exercise began in 2015. Before that, I was a weightlifting guy in the gym, but my body weight went over 200 pounds. My doctor said I must lose weight if I want to keep my two knees. So I start to run on the treadmills in the gym. But honestly, I really didn't take running seriously. But that was until 2017. In 2017, firstly, the company that I worked for 6 years went bankrupt. 2 months later, my wife was diagnosed with lung cancer. All of a sudden, my life turned upside down. In the depths of my despair, I found my body craving for running. I just wanted the feeling of release after running. So I quit the gym and hit the local public stadium. Oftentimes, I bury my head into the wide tracks under my feet. I just wanted to leave everything behind. I ran faster and faster, longer and longer. In the beginning, I trained for 10 kilometers. That was in China. So it was about 6 miles. But one day, without any preparation, I hit a half marathon run and I completed it. It took me 2 hours and 12 minutes. If you know about half marathon run, it was not bad for a beginner and at my age. In September 2017, my family moved to Baltimore in the US for my wife's cancer treatment. And between her doctor's appointments, I had plenty of time on my hands. And besides, again, I don't know why. The feeling of depression in my body fueled my desire for running. So I start to run around a lake nearby where we lived. Oftentimes, I got lost in the rhythm of my feet hitting the trails, circling the lake. I just didn't want to stop until my two knees almost collapsed. I felt great. So one day, I thought I would set up a goal for my half marathon run. I wanted to complete it within 2 hours. For those who know about half marathon run, it's pretty challenge for an amateur runner. And one day, I hit it for a half marathon run. I completed it in 2 hours and 2 minutes. Wow, it was so close. I felt sad and happiness at the same time. But soon after that, my family moved again. We moved to Riverside in South California. The hot weather here put out my desire for running, and soon COVID hit. All of a sudden, the whole world turned into a survival mode. For me, running became history. But that was until 2023. In 2023, firstly, I lost my wife to cancer in July. And 2 months later, our son Jack left home for college. All of a sudden, I was left alone in the house. Then Again, I just don't know why. Every time the feeling of depression rises in my body, so does the desire of running. But one day I was working in a local park. I wasn't prepared for running. So I was wearing these kind of slippers with these flimsy laces. But all of a sudden I was hit by a panic. I start to run and run and run. I couldn't stop. My feet kept slipping out of my slippers all the time, but I just kept running. I ran around the park for one round, then 2 rounds, then 3. I ended up running for 7 miles with slippers. I felt great. Back home, the first thing I did was taking out my old running shoes and I start to run in the park. And one day I hit a 10 kilos run, a 10 miles run. I killed it kind of easily. Then I thought, maybe I can try on a half marathon run after almost 7 years. My first 2 attempts failed. What happened was I feel my energy was okay, but my 2 knees just wanted to give up. Besides, there was this severe body cramps and the mental fatigue, but I just kept running. Then finally, one day, I complete a half marathon run. It took me 2 hours and 12 minutes. I felt great. Before that day, I thought the dream of completing a half marathon run within 2 hours is already long gone in my life. But on that day, I knew it. This dream is still there. Actually, it was closer to me than ever. A few weeks later, I tried a half marathon again. I failed. Weeks later, I tried again. I completed it. This time, it took me 3 hours, 16 minutes. I had these massive cramps all over my body. Then my last half marathon run before this summer break was in June. It took me 2 hours, 40 minutes. So fellow Toastmasters, this is my journey of half marathon run. I will continue it after summer break. I've learned a lot from this journey. One of the things that I have learned is this. For those of us who have passed our physical strengths in our lives, half marathon run is not an exercise. Actually, it's a mental game and a therapy for depression and the grief. You know, we all may go through some dark moments in our lives, but there are always ways out. For me, one of the ways is this: put on my running shoes, get out, run and run and run, never look back and never stop. Madam Toastmaster.